On this episode of Road Trip Masters, I cruise into a town that once served as a destination for the New York City and Philadelphia elite. Then hit two chocolate shops that serve up homemade heavenly treats. We'll carve up a tuna. Those muscles are kicking in right there. Explore some Victorian beauties.
We could house a third world country up there. It's huge.
And visit a community house that is unlike any other in the U.S. Can do a lot of this stuff, too. So sit back, relax, and let me do the driving right here on Road Trip Masters. I'm Nick Kessler.
And I'm Brian Fulmer.
We're teachers that have a passion for travel.
Cruising the highways and byways in our 1968 drop-top caddy.
We discover the places and people that make this nation great. We are Road Trip Masters. On this week's episode, I cruise into Spring Lake, New Jersey. Formed on March 14, 1892, Spring Lake is located in Monmouth County and began as a coastal resort destination during the late 19th and early 20th century. Today, Spring Lake is alive and thriving. One can easily get caught up in admiring its stunning architecture, exploring its quaint streets, and enjoying the peace and tranquility that does not exist in most shore destinations. So it was only befitting that I kick off this road trip by settling into my new digs at the Ocean House B&B. Jared, Ocean House B&B. Prime location right here in Spring Lake, but this is an old structure. What's the history?
Ocean House was built 1878. My family's run it for over 20 years. My folks bought it in 1998, and my wife and I have been here over 10 plus years. We have 30 guest rooms. The hotel featured 50 guest rooms originally when they had shared baths. Since then, we now have all private bath and all the rooms come with a full breakfast.
Looking at some old pictures, it basically almost remains unchanged.
Literally, you feel like you're standing in this room the same way it was in the 1920s.
That staircase.
Staircase was featured in the Centennial World's Fair in Philadelphia, which was 1876, a section of which didn't fit into the building and is on display in the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. One of the most breathtaking entrance lobbyways that is featured here in Spring Lake.
You look at the porch, absolutely massive, nice and wide, open concept. That's where you want to be when you're at the Ocean House here.
Exactly. Sitting on the porch, having a glass of wine before dinner, reading a book out there, enjoying the ocean breeze. We get nice breezes off the lake as well. Definitely one of the more popular spots on the Ocean House grounds.
Jared, you got something unique here also. A baker back there in the kitchen, right?
Rob, he owns Early Riser Bakery. He runs the bakery out of our kitchen in our downtime. Our guests are lucky enough to have his great cooking during the morning.
1 block away from the Atlantic and literally 1 block away from Spring Lake.
Exactly. Freshwater fishing and saltwater fishing. They stock that lake with trout every year. Brings people from all over to come and fish it. Familiar faces walking their dogs.
You look at Spring Lake, it's like a protected bubble, I'm gonna call it.
Funny you say the bubble, that's what we refer to it as locals here.
Jared, I'm looking forward to my stay right here and have the perfect spot at the Ocean House B&B. I think I'm gonna mix up a drink, have a seat on that beautiful deck, and just enjoy the landscaping and the view.
I'll join you.
All right. Well within walking distance from the Ocean House lies a restaurant that sources its delicacies from local fishermen, farms, and purveyors that reside around these parts. A restaurant that prides itself in offering its customers a classic Jersey Shore fish market experience, but with the modern twist, Spring Lake seafood. Okay, Brad, we got this massive fish.
We have a 212-pound local bluefin tuna. This fish costs between $3,000 and $5,000.
Woo!
Next step is we're gonna cut some of the scales off.
All right.
So this technique is called tsukibiki. It's a Japanese technique of cutting the scales as opposed to scraping them off.
A+, my friend, A+. After removing the scales, Brad cut down the top of the fish and then the side, revealing the beautiful red flesh. Oh, look at that. How much does it weigh right now?
Good 30 pounds.
Wow. Now we get the specialty weapon out.
This is a Maguro Bocho, and it's for cutting center meat, the loins, when there's no more bones. It's razor sharp. You can shave with it.
Wow.
And there you have the back loin.
Brad sliced up the entire filet, ending up with a 7-ounce steak. So we headed back to the kitchen to get our sizzle on. What are we going to prepare now in these pans?
So we're gonna prepare our sesame seared ahi tuna, our fresh lo mein, and stir-fried vegetables. First, we're gonna drop the fresh lo mein portion in the pasta cooker. We're gonna season our tuna with fresh sea salt.
The sesame seed crust.
Just sesame seeds, we do nori, coriander, and then we season it with sea salt.
I got to tell you, I'm an expert on ahi tuna. I'm curious to taste this, and I'm curious to see how you're going to cook it for how long on each side.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, fire away, my friend. First step, oil.
Yep, we add the shallots
All right, a little bit of shallots.
and our stir-fried veg, which is bok choy and a little red peppers. This is one I came up with a long time ago. At this for a while now, so a couple of dishes that we do stick and can't take them off the menu, otherwise the customers revolt.
Nothing wrong with a little revolution for the soul.
Now I got a little bit of color on there, nice hot pan.
Smells fantastic. I love the color of those noodles, almost like a light orangey color.
Yeah, this is the mirin soy sauce and sriracha secret sauce mixture.
I guess it's not a secret sauce anymore. As the veggies and pasta were cooking up, it was time to introduce the star of this maritime masterpiece, the tuna steak. Interesting you didn't put it on the widest part first.
This is a black French steel. It's all even throughout the whole bottom, so it retains the heat pretty well, and no hot or cold spots on these. Always tip the oil away from you,
All right.
and then put your protein in.
Little inside tip and trick there. Now, how long on each side?
30 to 40 seconds on each side.
I see that fresh thyme was put in.
This one we'll just baste it with a little butter to finish it,
Ooh, smell those flavors right there, Brad.
and that's it.
Wow.
Let's plate it.
All right. So on went the lo mein. Sliced tuna, and then topped off with some micro pea tendrils. And finished the plate with dabs of house-made spicy mayo, wasabi crema, and sticky soy sauce. And I was ready to reel in this seafood sensation. All right, I'm very excited to taste this dish. I'm a tuna guy, tuna fanatic, ready to dive in. Melts right in your mouth. It's perhaps some of the best tuna I have ever eaten in my life. And I gotta try some of this homemade pasta. When in Spring Lake Seafood. And tell Brad that I sent you. See, you dodged the question there, Brad.
Wait, what's the question?
As my journey of Spring Lake, New Jersey continues, I came across 2 chocolate shops that I was about to explore. Then out of nowhere, it was like I was in an old Western movie where they say, "This town ain't big enough for the 2 of us." 3rd Avenue and Jean Louise Chocolates have been serving up their own delectable, mouth-watering delights for decades. And believe it or not, it seems that this town is big enough for the 2 of them. Barb, Jerry, Jean Louise homemade candies.
We just celebrated the 75th anniversary of the store, and my wife and I have been here now for 10 years together.
Is it safe to say that a lot of the recipes here are original to that 75-year-old history?
Everything is pretty much original since the doors opened. Today we're gonna make homemade butter crunch toffee.
Are you ready?
We're ready, let's do
We're
it.
ready.
All right. So what are we stirring right now?
Now we just have a little corn syrup, some sugar, and some water.
And what temperature are we looking for?
We're gonna bring it up to 300.
Now we are almost at 240s.
Some of it splashes on here. I got my sandals on. I saw Barb has flip-flops on.
Yeah, she gets away with it.
Barb, you should have steel-toed shoes here. Then we hit 300 degrees. Jerry poured in the butter, crushed nuts, salt, and stirred it all up. Next, Barb joined the party to move the kettle to the cooling and slicing table. Barb with her flip-flops on.
With the flip-flops.
Now this marble's gonna cool this rapidly.
Really quickly, yes.
Just in
You
a
have to
few
work
minutes
quick.
after she spreads it out and cuts it, we're gonna be able to break it into pieces and dip it in chocolate.
Did every last little drip.
Oh, I try.
That's dollars and cents right
That's
there.
right.
Barb quickly spread the mixture out to harden, sliced and diced it into smaller pieces. I helped break it all up, and break everything is exactly what I did. I just destroyed
it'll
this.
break, it's okay.
Oh my God. I'm ruining this.
Kinda wanna break it in the middle to see it happens.
It's not like that, it doesn't. What a failure. Last step, chocolate. To be dipped with the cashews and almonds. for a perfect butter crunch toffee creation.
And then that's finished product.
It's all right for me to have a little sample.
Of course.
It's excellent. I just want to keep eating warm.
Very good.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Jean Louise Homemade Candies is a must-stop in Spring Lake, but I had a little room for one more chocolate shop. Joyce, 3rd Avenue Chocolate Shop, another chocolate shop in town.
Here at 3rd Avenue Chocolate Shop, we're really known for all of our caramel items. So because we make our caramel in-house, the old-fashioned way in copper kettles, it really is one of our most popular things that people seek out.
All right, I'm excited to see this process and see where this all washes out to.
Yeah, we're excited too.
That's where I found Bill, Joyce's husband, who was mixing up his secret ingredients and concocting 3rd Avenue's most sinful treat, the turtle.
So now that the caramel's all done, what we do is we deposit it onto trays to make turtles.
So who's better at this, you or Bill?
I would probably say me just because I have a little bit more practice, but Bill's pretty good at it too.
We'll see who wins.
I am ready.
Go. Joyce is just flying.
She won't tell you, but she's very competitive.
I can see
I am
that.
very
She doesn't
competitive.
want to lose. I'm not going to tell Bill what the time was.
Ready?
Go. All right.
Doing pretty good.
Bill's doing pretty
I think
good.
he feels the pressure.
I do feel the pressure. I usually do not go this fast. You'll see that I think Joyce's look a little bit better, but I've got the speed.
So Joyce was 27.44. Bill is 27.56.
There we go. That was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty
Joyce
good.
is the winner. I got to give this a shot.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah, you
All
got
right.
yourself a job. And you'll be surprised how heavy that funnel is.
It's starting to burn right in the wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to switch hands. All right, that's enough, Nick. Oh,
I want to quit your day job.
I can't wait to do a little taste test. That is absolutely phenomenal. It's tender, it's chewy, but it's not gonna pull my crown off.
Exactly. That's what we go for. Soft, chewy, but doesn't get stuck in your teeth.
3rd Avenue Chocolate Shop, Spring Lake, New Jersey. You know where to come for the best caramel in town. I think the key to the... I heard that horn beep. I think the key to the next will be the jet airliner at a low pass. Spring Lake is filled with a plethora of architectural wonderment and awe. Every year, one can come into town and partake in the Spring Lake Historical Society house tour, held in early June. But before I check out one of these beauties, I had to stop in and visit a very small but mighty museum that chronicles the history of this amazing town. So Barbara, here we are, Spring Lake Historical Society Museum. It's set up beautifully. You can really go through and get a sense of Spring Lake's history here.
People who come here are very surprised. This really is a showcase of a town. We are very proud of how this museum turned out. When we took it over in 1979, we basically just had cases that were donated from downtown 3rd Avenue shops. They were from families who had been here. They were so happy to have a place that they could dump them. And then they're so happy to have them dumped here and shown off.
The Spring Lake First Aid Squad.
Spring Lake's First Aid Squad was basically brand new in the 1930s. Morro Castle started on fire. It was coming from Havana, Cuba, up to New York. There were lots and lots of lives lost, but a lot of them ended up coming into the beaches of Spring Lake. The ship itself ended up beaching in Asbury Park. So the First Aid Squad sent myriads of people that they had, and even civilians would go down to the beach to rescue as many people as they could. And we had about 4 doctors in town at that point in time. And of course, they all came to the aid of these people.
The town of Spring Lake, you can't help but notice the architecture. It's like every home is perfect. And now the Spring Lake Historical Society runs a house tour first week of June.
Yes. This year, it was such a great house tour. I hate to brag about it, but it was one of our best.
Well, Barbara, I know we missed your historic house tours, but I have a place lined up that is over 100 years old that we're going to check out.
Good.
Thank you so much, Barbara, for doing what you do. It's people like you that preserve the town's history. And without people like you, we wouldn't have places to come here, look at it,
honor it and respect it.
So I hopped into the caddy and drove a few short blocks, and I was excited to check out one of these Spring Lake gems, up close and in person.
George, Ellen, first of all, absolutely stunning house. The architecture throughout the town, it's beautiful here.
We live in a Norman Rockwell painting. Annually, the Historical Society does a historical house tour. They have about 6 to 8 houses on every year.
So let's talk a little bit about the history of the home.
Well, it was built in 1922. It was a dormitory for the Ann May Hospital.
I think when you're up in that hallway, you can see how long the hallway is. It was set up in that dormitory style.
Absolutely.
How many bedrooms?
6 bedrooms.
What's the average size of these rooms?
20 by 12.
Wow. So total floor space on this whole house?
6,700 square feet.
That's huge.
A lot of house.
The mahogany decking on the front porch.
The sense of warmth, I think, when you walk in, and openness. We have so many family gatherings. Everyone just fits in perfectly.
Let's look at the dining room. Absolutely gorgeous. That table is huge. It seems like you have special antiques too.
We do. We've got lots of antiques, and sometimes that's a bone of contention internally. I like them. Ellen, not so much. Struggle throughout the years.
I do like some of them. Yes, I do.
And the bathrooms.
The tile is original. We've got 2 clawfoot tubs.
How much does it take to fill it up, George?
Oh, it's a lot of gallons, but Ellen is the prime user.
Yep, I do.
Now you go to the 3rd floor. Immense up there. And that was an unfinished space, but you converted it.
It's great space. We've got a billiard table, infrared sauna, a Peloton exercise area.
I saw a ping pong table.
And a ping pong table.
So you have this century-old house, but your kitchen, very modern.
It is modern. When we moved in, there was basically not a kitchen, and it was a bit of a hodgepodge. We did redo the kitchen.
Ellen, George, thank you so much. I think for anybody visiting Spring Lake, every block you go, there's architectural interest all over the place.
We live in paradise. It's a wonderful town.
Well, enjoy and good luck for the rest of the years that you're here.
Oh, thank
you,
Nick.
so much.
I actually have a Victorian potty in my basement.
Oh, really?
The kids love making fun of them for that.
They say that every town has its own heartbeat that provides a pulse for the community to thrive on. In Spring Lake, there is a pounding heartbeat that comes from within via the Spring Lake Community House.
Spring Lake Community House. This is a legend in Spring Lake.
It's celebrating its 100th birthday on July 4th of this year. The building and the land it stands on was donated by Oliver Brown, who was the mayor of Spring Lake, and he was a philanthropist and a visionary who believed that Spring Lake would eventually become the garden spot of New Jersey, and that it would be filled with tourists and people that wanted to live a beautiful life, and he turned out to be right.
It's just not the theater in the background here. It's a lot more.
It's about community. It's a place where everyone meets, all age groups meet. A children's theater, workshop, and dance academy. We produce 6 productions, and I really believe we foster a quality of goodness and kindness that is contagious.
Talking to people in town, they keep saying, Nick, you gotta see a play there. It is comparable to Broadway. Is this true, Pat?
Yes. And I'm not just saying that because I'm its mom.
The library, stunning, beautiful, classic.
It looks like something from Goodbye, Mr. Chips or something like that.
It's not sterile like today's modern libraries. It's like you are stepping back in time.
It's beautiful. People are in awe of it.
Now, the theater itself.
It's got 350 seats.
And it's set in that classic 1920s look and feel. You have the balcony, you have the offshoot side balconies there, and the stage, perfect for this size venue.
Exactly. It's just a perfect little jewel. It really is.
Your costume room.
Some are beautiful gowns that people donated. We have a wonderful seamstress that had been with us for years and years and years, so we have a huge attic filled with beautiful costumes. And I've learned to be very creative with shopping online. I call it cheap and easy, where you can buy something that, may not be very expensive, add some touches, and it looks like a beautiful costume.
Next, I was offered a walk-on role in the production of Cinderella. With no prior stage experience, this was baptism by fire. And hopefully, after my performance, I won't get canned.
I don't know what to expect, but they say I'm gonna catch on. Will I catch on? I have no idea. Do we go now?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. What do we do?
Walk.
Who do I look at? Nope, I ran into her. Do I go first, take the lead?
Sure. Go right to her.
Don't take what the world gives you. No, listen.
All right. That is the first practice that I ever had as part of a play. I'd never been in a play, but there's a first for everything. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when in life. Nailed the ending.
Spring Lake, New Jersey is a town unlike any other, protected from the outside world. A place where you can kick back and relax and not get stressed from an overcrowded boardwalk, a cluttered beach, or the distractions of nightlife just outside your door. So get in your car and hit the open road. Until next time, I'm Nick Kessler. Stay curious, my friends. Safe travels.